Apparently this magazine here, this online magazine is called The Gamer, and I found this kind of okay. What are the best? Their top 10. I don't know where they get it from, how they gathered the information, if it's all internal or maybe that they ran their own thing. But here's what we got. So for number 10, and right now it looks like they really show a lot of respect to Koji and Tim Follin. It looks like, and Tommy Tallarico. I'm not going to get these names right. But it looks like number 10, they have Journey to Silus. And so I unfortunately never listened to this. So as I'm going through this, you guys here in the chat, kind of fire back and forth on this because you guys are going to learn a lot more than I will about it or have a lot more experience of it. So I'm just kind of running this really quickly by you and just to see what you guys are saying here on the chat on how you feel about this list and how it sits. The next one was Blazing Lasers. Turbo Graphics, Graph X16. I don't believe I've had an opportunity to listen to any of these. Hey, Jake, what's going on, buddy? And so maybe this is something that I can put myself on, like a top 10 listening excursion of chiptunes, 8-bit chiptunes. And by the way, is this if I say the word chiptunes, does that automatically mean 8-bit? Because I know there was an 8-bit to a 16-bit to a 64. But does chiptunes as a word live to represent just strictly the 8-bit music? Okay, so not necessarily. Okay, good. You see? 8 or 16. All right, good. You see, I'm learning that. So here's number 8, Silver Surfer. I think I did do one Silver Surfer before. Grovinus, what's going on? How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Ask Weed One. I kind of like Ask a Weed One. That's a cool name. So, I don't think I've done a Silver Surfer, so I definitely have to do a Silver Surfer. Maybe somebody will drop that on my wheel of cheese coming up. Okay, what's this one here? This is called, Galavilius, Valley of Doom, Sega Master. Now, I've only been doing this a year, but I haven't heard of a lot of these games. So once again, I don't know where this gaming magazine got their information for their top 10. So that's why I see people never heard of this. There's a lot of people who are gamers who are going, I don't know, I've never heard of them. But I have some of them, like Asteroid Jason, are saying these are some real deep cuts. So, and look, Zgurg is saying that this is pretty obscure. So, but maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's a little depth in how the magazine did pull the top 10 through this and maybe took different variables and let's just say 15 or 20 or 30 gamers that are arbitrarily playing, games and giving their opinions. Maybe there was some composers involved in it. I don't know. I could have read a little more. Let's see what number 6 is. Well, we know number 6, right? Super Mario Brothers 2. Okay, I don't think we're going to be surprised that's on the list whatsoever, because Super Mario Brothers has got an absolute legacy, standing as a landmark OST, and have progressed, all the way from the chiptune 8-bit all the way to current or latest releases. What's up, Square Meal? How's it? How you doing? The Timo. How you doing? Okay, next up. Funny enough, I just did this. DuckTales. But I didn't do the chiptune version of a DuckTales. I did a lot more of an update. Now, here's a question I have for you really quick. The DuckTales that I just did, that's on my VOD YouTube channel. By the way, one of my mods is going to share that right now. So if you haven't gone and hung out to my VOD channel where I dump all of my Twitch stuff, in a straight run, it's right there. It was just released. Thank you. And right there is that little code, exclamation VODs. Thank you. So DuckTales I just did, but obviously was much more, current composition and orchestration of it. It was glammy, but I didn't realize DuckTales actually had been around for quite a while. So was DuckTales a game that Disney absorbed later? Am I missing the boat somewhere in that? Something like that? I don't know. That's why I wanted to ask you guys. Okay, coming up on number 4 is Ninja Gaiden, another NES game. Once again, for the 1 year that I've been just listening to gaming music, I definitely have not heard of this. But you guys here are having a great time saying these are, classics, so that's why I love this. For me, I am ignorant of that. I surrender to that. I'm new at this whole gaming experience, listening to the music, but it's really great to see folks who know of these games, really get into it and say, dude, this is, what's it, Gaiden? Thank you. Sorry. Thanks, Snake. You're always there for me. So what's Capcom? Bought the license to make several. Oh, I see what you're saying, Safaria. Okay, good. Okay, got it. You know what, slash Dupedix? I'm sorry, forgive me if I have your name wrong. That's a great statement there. These composers are amazing because they worked around the limitations. And yes, no two ways about that. You guys have heard me talk about this when I listen to chiptune music. And as a composer, listening to what they had to work with, even in the horribly tone-generated internal sound card, which actually made a legacy-lasting impression. So what may have been horrible at the very beginning to a composer going, oh my God, how are they able to manage these compositions with these sounds, ended up being, a legacy soundtrack of life to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. Would you say millions? Maybe, millions and millions of people. That the composers have made that kind of impression through chiptune composition, through the sound card limitations. I think that's absolutely important, So let's see what else we got. Number 3, here's another one I've never heard of. Ready? The Vanished Omens, Sega Master Systems. What's really unique as I'm scrolling through this, what's really super cool is at least the GUI, or I mean the visuals of this. Is that the same thing? I don't know. I could be talking out of my ass there. Wouldn't have been the first time. At least it's very recognizable because it all comes from a certain period when video games were built in a certain way. But how about this one, guys? The Vanished Omens? Is this, these are deep-ass cuts. You guys are super retro. So maybe I should go back and listen to each one of these, and go back and just go ahead and check them out or something after this. I don't know. You guys tell me. Vanished Omens is great. And this is a Sega. Bobo question here. How many of these games were actually on consoles on their first release, opposed to the little gaming, when you used to play and you'd hold the game controller like an original? Did all of these come out on consoles first, or like the little handhelds? I'm only asking because I don't know. So they were all run out of, and arcade games too. Oh, I see. So some of these have really transitioned all the way across from the arcade games into the handhelds or to the, okay, Sephiria. Okay, Jake, I get you. Vex is saying that most of these are, oh, good. Okay, so they made the transition. It's almost like going from reel to reel to cassette tape to CD to the music industry. All right, guys, this is number 2. This doesn't, what's up, Triumph and Battery? This is number 2. This shouldn't surprise you because I don't think I listened to this one. Which one did I listen to yesterday? It was a Castlevania. It was number 3, Dracula something, though. I don't know if it was Dracula's, what was that? The one I did yesterday. Oh, Castlevania 4, thank you. So this came up as number 2. And I think you guys are going to be really surprised at number 1 because I could see it. This isn't pre-planned by me. I can kind of see it. It's just off the screen right now. And I've never heard of this video game. So please be kind to me for saying that. That's not, my thing, obviously. But this is number 1 on this list. Something called Mega Man 2, I guess. Game looks kind of cool. Anything with an ocean works for me. I like that. Stay away from it. So Mega Man 2, I guess this is a super serious, this was number 1 on this list. And once again, for me, remember, I'm not a gamer. I'm just an old composer who's just started this journey with video games. So how I wouldn't know about this is very obvious because you guys take me on this journey. But all the chiptunes that I've been exposed to before were derivative of your guys' suggestion, and it's really ironic because I would have thought that maybe Final Fantasy VII would have been on this list or something like that. Maybe the next rendition of it, or I'm sorry, maybe the way these guys compiled their top 10, there were some parameters I may have missed in the article. So, you know, yeah, that's what I wanted to kind of bring out here. Oh, it isn't 8-bit. FF7 isn't 8-bit? Oh, why did I think it was? Why did I think it was 8-bit? Final Fantasy, the original one that I played, that I started playing, you guys were having me play. Why did I think it was 8-bit? Early Final Fantasies were 32. Oh. Oh, it's a 32. Okay, good. I learned. This is why I did this. I just wanted to bring this up to you. Man, I got a crappy hair day going on today. I don't. Oh, sheesh. I look like crazy old surfer dude. Well, because I am crazy old surfer dude composer, right? Maybe I should put on a hat. I don't know. Anyhow, so I just wanted to run this list with you guys and just see, you know, what your thoughts were on all this. And, you know, I really appreciate it. I just, you know, I don't do a top 10 because I haven't done enough things to actually do a top 10 of what my top favorite ones are. You know, what does it say down here? Oh, so yeah, that was it. That was the top 10. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. And so let's get ready for our Wheel of Cheese. I have initiated our right there. I don't know if it's up on the link. Can I see it yet? Is it there? Clickbait in action. What does that mean? I don't know. Oh, actually, yeah, right? Wait a second. Let me set up for my thumbnail moment. If I cut this out and put it on the channel, let me set up for my thumbnail moment so I can freeze frame. No. Yeah, all these guys generate their thumbnails, you know? So my thumbnail will officially be... There we go. So now I'll freeze frame that as my thumbnail.